All right, the drip just dropped. Dan Heng SP has finally been officially revealed. And yeah, it's real now. The golden glow, the dragon aura, the preservation path, everything we've been speculating for weeks is finally out in the open. If you're watching this right after the announcement, you're probably still processing it, because for a lot of us, this one felt unexpected, not because we didn't know it was coming, but because of how it landed. Compared to March 7th's huge transformation, Dan Heng's reveal is a little more subtle, familiar even, but that doesn't mean it's not worth talking about. So in this video, I want to break down everything we know so far about Dan Heng's new SP form, his design, the gameplay direction, why he's shaping up to be a free unit in 3.6, and what it actually means for your teams going forward. 3.4 second phase banners are finally here, and you can save up to 25% on these banners at lootbar.gg. Here, I can buy 3,280 Woneric shards for $40, while it costs $50 in-game. I just enter my UID and select a server. I received the shards right away on my account. Besides Honkai, you can also top up in Genshin, and Lootbar has over 50,000 satisfied users. I regularly use Lootbar for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. Use my link in the description for an additional 10% discount. Now, if we rewind just a little, Dan Heng's SP form has been in the rumor mill for months. It all started with that old teaser lineup, the Aeon silhouettes. March 7th was pretty easy to spot in there with her bow, hair, and posture, but right next to her there was another figure, tall, armored, and holding what looked like a flame. Back then, it sparked a ton of speculation. Was it a new villain, a Stellaron hunter, some alternate fire unit? Turns out it was an early concept of Dan Heng SP himself. According to multiple leakers, like Team Mew and DK2, Dan Heng SP was originally designed as a fire preservation unit. That flame visual, it made perfect sense. His armor had more bulk, more weight, and the whole vibe was edgier, darker, and more aggressive than what we ended up with. But somewhere along the way, Hoyoverse scrapped that version. The flame was extinguished. His kit and aesthetic went through a full overhaul, and now the Dan Heng SP we're getting in 3.6 is themed around physical DMG, not fire. The silhouette turned out to be a red herring, and that alone says a lot about how long this version has been in development. And here's where things get interesting. March 7th's new form? Total 180, from bubbly shielder to gothic butterfly summoner with glowing red eyes and cursed vibes. Dan Heng SP, by contrast, feels a lot more familiar. His clothes are sleeker, sure. He's got horns now, a refined shoulder guard, and some flowing dragon script etched across his skills. But at his core, it's still Dan Heng. He's calm, composed, and controlled. His posture hasn't changed. His attitude hasn't changed. And while his golden dragon summon looks amazing in motion, there's this subtle, he never really left feeling that kind of anchors the whole thing. Which brings us to the core of his kit. Based on what we saw in the trailer and what's been shared by reliable leakers, Dan Heng SP still walks the path of preservation, but he doesn't play like your typical tank. He's not just standing there throwing up shields like Gepard. His gameplay revolves around targeting an ally and granting them a dragon summon. This isn't just a buff. It's a full-on entity that appears on the field, takes independent turns, and interacts with that ally's skill set. That last part is what makes him so unique. The dragon summon doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It syncs up with the character it's linked to, enhancing their effectiveness, layering in extra hits, and contributing to overall turn economy, which is a big deal in longer fights and modes like Simulated Universe. He essentially hands your DPS an extra body on the field, and that summon acts on its own timer. It's almost like giving them a mini version of a secondary skill set that keeps the pressure going between turns. And that's where the synergy with Phanon comes in. If you've been keeping up with the leak scene, then you've probably seen that Phanon's kit is heavily based on multi-hit sequences and layered reactions. She thrives on extended rotations, and Dan Heng SP's Dragon Summon, it fits her like a glove. It keeps attacks flowing, adds more value per turn, and helps stretch your damage window without burning through cooldowns. Some leakers are even saying he might be borderline irreplaceable in her team, which is wild when you consider that this unit is, again, very likely going to be free. And yes, let's talk about that for a second. Hoyoverse previously announced that players would be getting another free limited 5-star unit this year. Aside from Archer, they didn't name who it would be, but with Dan Heng SP's reveal, the timing pretty much lines up. Leakers have been saying it for weeks, that he's the one. And if you think about it, it actually makes sense. He's a mainstay of the Astral Express. He's already a fan favorite, and this new form, while mechanically innovative, isn't the kind of flashy visual overhaul that would drive massive gacha pulls. It feels intentional, like they're giving us an upgraded version of a familiar friend, not selling us a hype machine. And to be fair, some people might be disappointed by that. They see March SP, the red eyes, the umbrella, the cursed flower FX, and then look at Dan Heng SP and go, wait, this guy got a free pass? But that's the thing. March SP was designed to be a banner seller. Her entire vibe screams premium. Dan Heng SP, on the other hand, was designed to be accessible. His power is in his mechanics, not his presentation. He doesn't need to scream for attention. That's very on brand for him, honestly. Now, there's still a few things we don't know yet. His exact stat scaling, the full Dragon Summon mechanics, and his Eidolon impact, all of that is still under wraps. And while early leaks point to physical DMG as his element, we haven't had that 100% confirmed by Hoyoverse themselves. But if what we've seen holds true, Dan Heng SP is going to be one of the most unique support-style preservation units in the game. His blend of summon utility, ally interaction, and turn-based control makes him super appealing to anyone who enjoys strategic gameplay or wants to build around emerging characters like Phanon. So yeah, he might not have had the flashiest reveal, but I think that's the point. He's steady, he's refined. He's not here to reinvent himself visually, he's here to evolve functionally. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing. Not every rework needs to be a spectacle. Sometimes subtle upgrades hit even harder. But now, I want to know what you think. Are you hyped for Dan Heng SP? Does the free tag make him a must-build for you, or are you waiting to see how he actually performs in live gameplay? And how do you feel about his visual design? Are you into the gold dragon aesthetic, or were you hoping for something more dramatic like the scrapped flame concept? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I really want to hear where the community stands on this one. And of course, if you want to stay up to date on everything coming in version 3.6, especially as more kit details and gameplay footage drop, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be covering all of it as soon as it hits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.